welcome to another episode of Lids Off. I am your host, Bo Snow. I am joined today with Millie. Millie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Millie, my pronouns are he, she. I'm 22. I play for Leeds Chargers. I'm D-line, and I don't really have an NFL team.
Really?
Uh, I
That's
like I like watching it, but I get bored. I'd rather play than watch it.
That really surprises me because I thought you were going to be like a Buccaneers fan because you're a United supporter, so. Or are you not pro Glazers?
No, I don't really like them.
Alright, fair enough. So, how did football find you?
Well, I started in an under-17s team. Like one of my old coaches, he says I'm setting up the under-17s team. Do you want to give it a go? Get it a go. And then I've just done from the under-17s. I've gone to Chargers and just been in football since.
So, where was your under-17s team and was it mixed?
Yeah, it was mixed. It's at home, so it's like Barnsley way on. Quite people really don't know where it is. It were a mixed team, so we had our only last really. I think that most of them were like we had varsity and juniors. Most of them were juniors, and there were only like 5, 6 varsity.
So what was your league like then? Was it a lot of travelling about or?
I think the most is what Gate said. We travelled to, so it won't.
Okay. And have you always played D-line or?
I started as O-line.
Really?
Yeah, started as O-line, and it got to a point where they says, "Do you want to try D-line out?" It was O versus D, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." So I give it a go, and I just like from then I was just like, I'd rather be on the dark side. I'd rather not have
The
the
dark
pressure.
side.
Well, we wear black jerseys, so I said I'd rather do that rather than having. Because in my head I had the pressure on if I let someone through that gap, it's basically my fault. I've let someone hurt the QB.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be the one hurting the QB than letting someone hurt the QB.
So do you feel like there's less pressure playing D-line for you than playing O-line?
Yeah, there's a lot less pressure.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what was it like training with mainly males in the team environment and then moving to the Chargers where it's all female? What was that
It's
like?
it's a lot different. Like with the we used to be called Saints. With the Saints, it was very like you couldn't relax. It was very right. You're here for training, and you can't see the funny side of it.
Okay.
So it was very much like we want to also have fun while we're learning something new.
Yeah.
So coming from there to the Chargers, it's like, well, you're actually learning and you can also have fun as well. So it is a bit different. Like, they won't hold back, don't get me wrong. They ain't bothered. They won't hold back. I'd hit them just as hard as they hit me.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all? Like, had you done contact sport before that team?
I'd done rugby in school other than that. I was more like a netball. I always did
Really?
netball, yeah. And
Oh.
it's just... Because when they says, have you gone from netball to football? I'm like, I don't know. Just wanted to get a go.
I mean, to be fair, netballers are pretty brutal, to be fair. So fair play to you for trying it out. So was the coach, did you know him beforehand and that's how you got involved, or did you see it
So
advertised?
I saw it advertised, but when I found out who he was, my granddad used to play with him.
Oh, nice.
So I just found out a lot more about him after like being on the team really.
So your granddad played American football as well? That's really cool. So is your family like big into it, or is it just you two, or?
Just us two really. Trying to get my other granddad into it, but he's more of a rugby
Union or
person.
league?
Union.
Smart man, smart man. Prefer union. Um,
I'm
so how long have you been playing for the Chargers then?
going into my 4th season now.
Okay, and what's that been like for you? Because we've, we've definitely played against each other then. So what's that transition been like for you going from sevens to nines?
It's more the special teams. From like game wise, it ain't that much. Well, apart from the field, you get knackered after a
So
few drives.
yeah, it's a big field.
It's more just the special teams. Like the first season we did at Nines, I can't remember who our special team coordinator was, but they were probably fed up for us asking questions because it was just so much to learn within so little time of like within the first game. So we're like, well, what do we
Yeah.
do? So like offense, defense wide, it didn't really change. It was just the fact that it was special teams. I think we only managed to do it last season with because it's something new to learn. So we managed to finally click with what you had to do.
Oh, right, okay. So, like, how do you feel like, because you had a really winning season, your last season in sevens,
Yeah,
like, were you champs or? I know you won our group, didn't you?
yeah, we won the group,
Yeah.
made it to playoffs, and I can't remember what happened in playoffs.
But what was that like being in such like a winning team for that year?
To be fair, first season I would just expected to think, oh, we're going to win a couple of games. It's going to be different. And then when we've made it to playoffs, I was just like, it's actually all right. We could do better.
You are so laid back. You're like, oh well, not stressed. Do you get stressed at all playing football
When it comes to Warriors, yeah,
or? Okay.
it's just,
Uh, is it
I'm all
more of a
right. It's more of a mental game. You can
okay?
stay with them, but as soon as they're in my head, I'm gone.
Yeah. How do you usually deal with that? Like when you so do you get nervous before like a standard game or so for example, like the last game, like your first opening game of the season was against Titans, which was a phenomenal scoring game. Like were you getting nervous there? It was being live streamed.
No, to be fair, I were all right. I have my before the game, I put my headphones in, just like I would walk along the sideline and then just go back into changing rooms with my headphones in. Once I've got the like music in my head, I'm all right. It's
Okay,
just
well
more if people try to talk to me, I'm like, please just let me focus and I'll talk during the game. Let me lead up to it, and then once I'm in the game, I'm fine.
so what are your essential like pre-game listens that kind of gear you up?
I don't really have many. It's just it depends on what music I'm listening to at the time. But one song I do end on is "Believer" of Imaginary Dragons.
That is a banger.
I
That is
end on
definitely
that
a
one.
banger. Okay, that's a banger. I'd take that one. So then you're geared up and you're ready for the game. Because like last season you guys were hit with quite a lot of injuries. Were you kind of having to play both ways or did you manage to stay just D line?
I did manage to stay at D line. I did say with numbers being low and O line, I am happy to help, but luckily I was just able to just do D line.
Do you think that kind of helped you in a way because you weren't going to be anxious about kind of letting people hit your QB or
Yeah, I think it would. I think if I had to rep it, I would have just oh, it's a game rather than being on O line throughout the whole season.
yeah.
A game's just a game. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Whereas the whole season, it's like something's definitely going wrong here if you keep letting people through that gap.
Yeah. What do you find? Have you had any games apart from the Warriors games where maybe you are being pancaked or you're being kind of handled and you're struggling to get past the O line?
I'd sit Lions game before I get injured.
Like the Lions, they have a big O line. They are big gals. So fair enough. Are you tackle or end or edge?
I could be a bit of both. I'm mostly nose at the minute, but they
Okay.
do tend to swap us around so we can be any.
Well, that's useful. That's useful that you don't just get stuck on like a preferred side or whatever. Okay. So, would you say that the Warriors was your hardest game last season,
To play,
or
not to
would you,
play, no,
or
not
would you
to
say
play.
it's T side or?
Play last season, the hardest one. I were only there for half a game, so I don't know. Full game wise, I think yeah, it would be Warriors, but the time that I was at Lions, it would have been Lions because they were just so hard to get past.
Yeah. What happened at Lions, if you don't mind me, Anne?
I thought I jammed my finger until I took my glove off and it ended up being dislocated.
Oh my god.
So I went to the sideline. Bear in mind, in this game is cursed. I went to the sideline and somebody already had like a broken leg and says like, once you've got time, can you like sort of pop it back in? They couldn't pop it back in, so I had to go to hospital and get it popped back in.
Oh my god. Did you have to have like gas and air and everything?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They went, "Do you want the gas and air?" I went, "I've got my gum shield." They went, "Take the gas and air if you want to."
I mean, fair play for you being like, no, I've got my gum shield. I think you get cool points for that. But oh my fucking god. You don't have a job where you like need your hands, do you? Where you're like,
I did. It were hard at first actually. I like trying to grab pop. I work in like retail,
mm,
so it were like trying to grab and like cardboard boxes. You can't bend your fingers, so it's like how can I pick something up?
oh my god. And like, have you had to have like physio, or have you just gone back to
No,
normal?
I've had to have physio. I got discharged about 2 3 weeks ago.
And fingers crossed you're all good.
Yeah, we're good.
That sounds vile. Oh my god. So how are you feeling about the next season? Are you excited for it? Do you set goals for yourself?
I'm ready for it. I don't normally set goals, but I've given myself some this season.
Okay. Are you willing to share or
So my goals for this season is I want to either get a sack or a tackle for loss
nice,
because I'm
nice.
slowly getting through the gaps. But by the time I get through the gaps, the QB will be at another side. So I want to work on
That's
having.
exciting. You've got so do you know who's in your division yet?
Yeah, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, that's fair. You've got the Titans T side maybe. I
Uh,
imagine you'll have chaos as well, probably.
yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I know one's
Mm.
up London. We've got Titans and I assume Teesside because all others are really up, well, more down south, aren't
I think Scotland are joining nines this year. So I think you've got some up north travelling to do, maybe.
they? No.
So, have you kind of, is there anyone on the team that kind of has really taken you under their wing, or is there someone that you like? Is there anyone at the Chargers that you kind of like really respect?
In my first season, Kaylee, she was she like, I couldn't remember like my left from my right, so Kaylee would be the one like saying, look, you're going this way rather than going the wrong way. So in the first season, she's very helpful and very understanding. She didn't like say, look, stop being dumb. You are meant to go this way, not the other way. So in the first season, yeah, Kaylee like sort of helped me out a lot. And then as the seasons have gone on, it's more like the defense players,
Okay.
like the D line and some of the linebackers. We all, oh, I don't even know what the word is, but get along. We'll see.
Yeah. So, if I was a rookie that was turning up to Chargers training for the first time, what would I expect? Like, what's the vibe like?
So if you're a rookie, we will have the jokes, but you as you're then settled in, we'll get we'll welcome you more with more jokes and more banter.
Okay.
But on rookie days, it's more just like making you feel welcome, get to know if you're new to the sport, get to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
We'll have some jokes for you, but once you're officially in the team, that's it. There's no holding back.
Are there like many socials or?
Yeah, we have quite a few socials.
That's cool.
We I think last one was what last one? Hickories. We go out to Hickories as
Ah,
a
you
team.
can't beat Hickories. 10 out of 10. Okay, so cool. So, in terms of like preparing for a game, is there like a particular routine you have? Like, is there any particular like, are you nutritionally minded or?
So the week before, I make sure I drink at least 2 water bottles a day, as well as like the pop and stuff that I have.
How do you cope? Like, I'd just be weeing constantly.
Oh, it
I
gets
don't know how you
annoying.
do it. I
It
don't know
gets
how you do
annoying.
it.
No. I get by end of the week I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to just drink normally. I get
Like,
this.
do you, like, honestly though, because I've never done it, do you feel like it makes a difference?
I don't know. Maybe if I didn't drink as much on the sideline, it might do. But I'm constantly like after the set, I'd be getting a drink of water just to make sure I'm definitely like still hydrated.
Okay. So you do your hydration before. What about food?
So we have Fat Food Friday. So on a Friday, I'll send them it actually. So my latest one I had, it was like a loaded garlic bread.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
So it was garlic bread with, I can't remember what the last one was. So it was garlic pork chops, and then you'd put cheese over the top.
So, sorry, what are these Fat Food Fridays? What are these? Can you explain?
So it's basically eat as much carbs as you can.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Okay.
that's what we call it. So it's basically just carb overload. So we call it Fat Food Friday. Have as much carbs for breakfast. If you want to do it for dinner and tea as well, do it for dinner and tea.
That's really cool. And then you send the pictures into the group.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's really cool. I've not heard of that before. That's awesome. So then the morning of, do you manage to have breakfast or?
The morning of, I think I have a sliced toast just to make sure I'm not too full before the game.
Yeah,
I'd rather drink than be too full.
that's fair. That's fair. And then during like half time, because by the way, I'm so jealous that you just get one game now and not two games, because fuck me, that is brutal.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like that.
I hate it so much. Um, so during half time, do you eat or are you nil by mouth? Are you too anxious?
I normally have either Tan Fantastics or just
Excellent
any
choice.
any Haribos I can get my hands on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then afterwards, do you treat yourself or
Yeah, we're at pub after.
like that? Just a dead certain we're at the pub.
Yep.
That's it. And then after the game or after the game, like the days after, are you finding that you're usually tired? Do you take yourself for a walk or what's recovery like for you?
To be fair, in the first, until I got recommended to take magnesium tablets, I felt like I got hit by a bus.
Okay.
Then I can't remember who it was, but someone recommended to take magnesium tablets every day. And after doing that, I might have the odd soreness, but I didn't feel like I couldn't walk up and down stairs like I used to do.
Okay, so it's really made a difference then.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And how long have you been taking that for?
Well, I had him about halfway through last season and all this season.
And it's really made a difference.
Yeah, well, I think it does. I used to not be able to, like, when you put your hair up, I used to be like,
God,
oh, no, I can't do that.
yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
I can do it now.
Very impressed. Okay. So, in terms of you take you take vitamins and stuff, but like in terms of physical activity, do you just absolute vegetate? Because I personally rot in bed, like I can't move.
Sometimes, yeah, well, most of the time. Most of the times I'll just lay down and just catch up on what I've missed.
Okay,
But odd time I have, like, been for a walk. That might be 10 minutes, but I've done a little bit of something.
that's fair. So, what's your comfort TV then? What helps kind of soothe your battered body?
I think what I'm watching at the minute. Well, I was watching the Harry Potter baking show, Wizardry Baking.
I did not know that was a thing. Please tell me everything about it.
Yeah, I didn't until someone told me about it. There's 9 teams. Each TV program is a different theme. So, like, one room is 9 3/4. You've got to think of something like in that category to make a cake of. Like one of them was Diagon Alley. and people were doing like Weasley's shop. They
That's
were doing
cool.
they were doing stuff like that. So I've got the final two to watch, but each episode is a different part of the films, and they bake some cakes about it. Some of the cakes are quite good to say they've got a time limit.
That's cool. What are you watching that on?
It's on Prime. Um,
Really?
yeah.
Ah, cool. Okay. What else do you watch?
It's more films at the minute. I don't really. I start series and I get bored, so I like move on to something else and I forget what I'm watching.
See, people are usually the opposite way round. They're like, I've not got the attention span for a film, but I'll watch a series. So, do you have a comfort movie, or have you got one that you watch, like, that you've watched repeatedly?
Yeah,
Go on.
Mulan.
Is that where the email address comes from?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Is it the animated or the live action?
Any of them, but when I watch the animated, I know what line's going to be said before the line is said. So I'd say more the animation in the minute.
I mean, the movie slaps. It's a 10 out of 10 movie, so you've got excellent taste there. So if you had to do a 30-minute TED talk on anything, what would it be?
In the minute, women's football, like
Yeah,
not American football, just normal football.
soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Uh, so how long have you been watching women's soccer for?
Since the Euros, I knew about it, but I got into it after the Euros, and then I've just got into it a lot more after.
Yeah. So is it United you? Yeah. Okay. How are they doing?
A lot better than the men. The men are shocking at the minute. So the last game, they've been on a good roll actually. They at the start of the season they're always a bit rocky.
Okay.
And then we get some injuries. Them injuries are normally key players, and the people pull together to help and keep the wins or draws going. It's a lot of draws at the minute. And then by the end of the season, they're all right, but it's normally too late because Chelsea are just that much, not better, but they beat the other teams more. So it's just a lot. It's too late to win or with the to win the league.
Is a City doing all right? Because when I watched it way back when, City like the dominant force because they had like
Uh,
Steph Orton and Tony Duggan and shit. What's the name? The one that plays for Barcelona now.
Kira Walsh,
Mm,
Lucy
no, the
Bronze.
Lucy Bronze. It was her as well. City any good or?
I try to stay away from him, obviously, with him being a rival. But but Leanne, one of the lasses I go to, well, she used to play football as well. I also watch. I go and watch the games live with her. She's also a City supporter,
That
so
makes it interesting. I can imagine.
yeah. So I get like information off her on how City are doing. At the minute, their main strikers are out, so that's helping us.
Do you find like the environment for watching women's football is it quite lively? Is it well attended?
It's been getting better.
Yeah.
I went to the US versus uh, England game at
I bet that
Wembley.
was good.
Yeah, they what it was. I think it was just short of 77,000.
Ooh,
So
okay.
it's got bigger. To say I go to Leeds Sports Village, and it goes what 2,000 can be the lowest attendance, and then going to Wembley and it being 77,000. It's a big difference, but the numbers are slowly on the rise.
Would you ever want to play soccer?
I think I'd be too rough. I did consider it, and then I'd be like, I think I'd snap someone's leg.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Mm, yeah, it could be, could not be.
You get a name for yourself as the female Roy Keane. Just start headbutting people. If you could play any other position on the team, what would it be?
They always say when we do the odd like throwing game, they always say, Millie, you can do throwing inside.
Oh, have you got a knack for it? Because it's like
I can
witchcraft.
I can throw, but when it's long distance, I can't. Like if you're short distance, if you're doing like a little slant, I'm fine. But if you're doing a go, that ain't reaching you.
To be fair, your QB, is it Jess Thomas?
Yeah.
She throws a very deep ball. It's very like it's nice to watch, but you never know. Would you ever imagine D-line like charging at you? I can imagine you'd headbutt him and carry on throwing.
To be fair, I would if we got like a little bit going where they say, look, you can just throw off, you can throw, and we'll have people at O line, D line. I'd give it a go.
There
But
you go.
I think it'd be in a game situation. No, but as trading, yes.
To be fair, I'm very impressed that you can throw it anyway because, like, I throw such an ugly ball. Like, I wish I could because it looks so good when you get the spiral on it. It's like, really love it. So if you had to choose any team from the NWFL, who do you think has the best kit? Putting you on the spot now.
No, I was trying to think. To be fair, purple. I do. Purple is my favourite colour, so I would. It's not just because it's my team, but I do like our home shirt.
I mean, that is fair. I interviewed Lauren from Leicester Panthers, and she said that the black and purple is absolute. So that's fair if you like it. Do you prefer the black and purple? Like, how do you feel about your away shirt? Is it the
Oh,
white?
the white. No, I do not like the white one. When they says we're going to play in white, I was like, I didn't even know we had a white shirt. Then they showed it is. I was like, please do not let us play another game in this.
So it was the black and purple like the main kit, and then
Yeah.
it's just. So is the white kit your away one, or is it like an alternate jersey?
If there's a clash, if we really have to wear the white one, that's where we have like when Warriors say, "Look, we're in black. You have to have an alternative." That is when we have to get out the white kit. Other than that, there's no other clashes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I can't think of many teams. I mean, Solent are black and cold, but yeah. Look at your face thinking about
No,
the white kit.
no. I remember us all walking out in it, and it was just something different.
Sorry, I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Uh,
It's your face, like, you can really tell you're not a fan of it.
Let me see if I can find it. It ain't the best.
It's just, it was so, like, when you have, like, another kit, it's supposed to be, like, kind of similar to your black one, but it's so different. It's like a different team.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's no slight to whoever designed it, but your black and purple one is really cool.
That one bought when they said they were getting it out, it was when they were under Leeds Beckett, so they haven't had chance to get a new kit.
Right,
Like well, a
okay.
new second kit. So I think that was just like a backup to say if we clash in black, we're gonna have to wear that, and think if we get the chance to get a new jersey, we can get that new jersey.
Are you pushing for that just a little bit?
Well, we don't play Warriors this season, so I'm hoping that it doesn't happen again. If not, I want a new jersey.
I want you smiling in all your pictures, just glowing because you're in your black kit. Like, yeah, fuck that white kit. Oh, that's utter joy. Oh, fuck. So, if you could go back in time to your first year with the Chargers, what advice would you give yourself?
Just relax. The first year was I didn't talk as much. The people said when I started talking, they went, "You're a different person to who you are." So I would relax more and be more myself.
Yeah.
But I am like that. I'd rather like hold back a bit until I know you, and then once I know I'll talk to you. I'd still rather listen than I'd still contribute, but I talk more when you know me.
Right, okay. So
Um,
this is kind of like outside your comfort zone right now, isn't it?
sort of, yeah.
You're doing really well, though. What made you kind of want to put yourself forward for it? I am grateful that you are.
I saw Emma Barrow do it, and when she did it, I thought, if Emma can do it, surely. one of us can do it, and I thought they won't. If I'm gonna put it on group chat after, say, look, I've been on it. They'll be like, wait, you've done it. They won't. They won't think they won't expect me to do it.
Really?
No.
I loved Barrow's episode so much. Like, it was such a good portrayal of the Chargers, but also, like, I mean, she made me cry. Like, it was such, like, a good episode. So I'm really glad that, like, her being on has, like, inspired you to kind of put yourself out there. That's quite powerful. Would you say that you look up to Barrow quite a lot? Because she's a leader, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like she's one where we anything goes wrong. Well, she's on the committee. If anything goes wrong, we say to her, oh, "Look, we need somewhere for a social. If the social team aren't there, she'll be on it.
Yeah.
She can just
Is
go
she
to her for anything."
is she kind of hard to train against though? I can imagine. Like,
Oh,
she beat me up somewhat good at the charity game. Thank you very much, Barrow.
when
Fuck.
I when I got double teamed with her and Laura Dye, I got pancaked. I just didn't expect it. I'm going in thinking they might pass me off to one person. They didn't. They both stayed on me. And 1 minute I was up, next minute I'm down, looking up at Emma Barrow. She's going, "You'll be right." She's one of them. She's one of them. She'll put you on the floor, and then once her head's in it. But once you're up, she'll be like, "Are you okay?" But at first, she'll just look down at you on the floor and go back and find someone else to hit.
Fuck. Was that like? So that sounds like training when you're in scrim. Like, it's like full send. Like, what's that like training against?
Training, it's a lot. It makes game easier. Cause at training, we don't hold back. Like many times I've lent on Abby, our centre. I've lent on her, and she says one of these days, if you continue to lean on me, I'm just going to step to one side. And I'm like, I'll just keep doing it as I do it. Next thing I know, she says to one side, I'm on the floor. She went, I did tell you.
Fuck.
So it's going hard on each other. It makes it easier in games because we go in thinking, oh great, we're gonna get smashed. And then whereas with some of the, let's say some of the smaller line where you know you can just like go past, it's like you're getting ready to like engage and you're like, I'm not prepared for that. You're not prepared to just be able to hit your hand as lightly.
That's gotta feel good though, knowing
Oh,
that, yeah. So when you're in a game, are you like serious in the moment, or do you like to laugh and joke?
I'm once I'm in the game, I'm in the game. No,
Really,
and like until I'm on the sideline. Well, to be fair, on the sideline, I'm still serious. But until like the game's over, it's half time. Once the game's on, that's it. It's game talk. I ain't talking about anything else.
really, I'm the
Uh,
opposite. I'm like chirping away, making friends, like da 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 da. Completely the opposite. Do you have a like? Do you play against an O line in particular that's like particularly friendly or quite disarming, and then you're like, oh, I don't mind going against them. They're kind of nice.
Lions,
Really?
yeah, they're hard to go against. But once after a couple of things, you can be joking. Like when we went from flex to nose, they finally got a bit of challenge, and they're nice people. They rather than people like saying, "Look, we're here just to get at each other." You can actually talk to them. Like our first season at Nines, our game against Lion got cancelled because there was a crash on the motorway up.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Because you did like there was how many of you managed to get to Birmingham in the end?
So what's the lowest number? 18. Four were stuck in a car. We were already lower numbers anyway. I think we were only at 22. So we were already low. So when the four got stuck in the car, it was like if we put ourselves forward, would the referees say we can still do it as well? So I think we were below minimum of 18.
So what was that like doing like a joint friendly training scrim with lions? That's like a unique experience.
It were good. Their words were different to ours, so I can't remember what theirs was, but they were saying it, and I were like, what are you on about? And then they'd explain it. And after a couple of times when like the plays come in and they'll call in the plays,
Yeah.
we then knew it. It was just the initial, like the coaches were just calling in the plays and just automatically thought we'd know what word it was.
What was that like though? Like being coached by someone that wasn't your regular coaches? Was it different, or it looked like a friendly training experience?
Yeah, it were good. It were different drills to what we normally do. We could have. There's not much you can do when you're block shedding. But one of them were when we went to um O versus D. It was like O line versus D line. It was different to what we normally do. I can't remember exactly, but we normally just run fans or like do that. But it was they had running backs in, so we had actually
Grab.
someone to grab rather than just going into thin air.
Nice. So what would you say, as talking D line to D line now, what would you say is your favourite go to move? Are you a swimmer? Are you a
Um,
swatter?
if that one don't work, I'd rather like hit up and out. But
Really?
yeah,
I feel like I'd end up like headbutting someone if I did that. I'm a big fan of like swatting their hands down, but
uh,
then that usually means that I get headbutted because they're leaning forward as they do it.
yeah, that's why I don't like that one.
See, you're smart enough to not do that. So, are you forever going to stay a true D lineman now? Is that you set in stone, or are you going to try a different position this year? Or
I'd stick to D line for now. I don't think I've got the speed for anything else. I've got the strength behind me. But if I do manage to, I don't know, so get some more endurance in me, I'll give something else a go. But D line is what I'd prefer to do for now.
it's the most fun position on the pitch by far. Right, awesome. So, with that in mind, do you have any messages for your adoring fans, for the Chargers, for anyone watching that is a budding D lineman?
For the Chargers, I knew you wouldn't expect it, so you've got an episode of me now.
For anyone that is, on the fence about joining American football, what would you say to them?
Give it a go. I keep joking to my assistant manager saying, "You're coming to a rookie day and you're gonna do it." Quite a few rookies say they're scared of contact, so give it a go. If you don't like it, you can always fall on flag. But if you like the contact side of it, just stick with it. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, there's always something else out there.
That's fair. And final question, what has football brought into your life or added to your life? Ending on a hard question.
It's made me not talk more, but there'd be like the odd people I'd like go to, like family you'd go and talk to. Whereas with a football lot, I'm able to like, if I've got say I don't know something stupid o'clock at night, there's people there I'll go to and say, look, I've got this situation, or even if it's just a TikTok and I think it's funny and they'll like it, they're just there.
So it's brought friendship.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I am very excited to see what the season 2025 brings for you. Hopefully, no dislocated fingers or anything dislocated.
yeah. Hopefully we're all right this season.
More sacks, no injuries. That's
Yeah.
what we're aiming for. So, with that, I've been Bo Snow,
And I've been Millie.
and this has been Lids Off. Bye.
See you later.